Welcome to the Zadzooks Happy Hour, a podcast exploring the latest in film, TV, games, toys, and more. And now, somewhere in a secret bunker outside of Washington, D.C., here are your hosts, 30-year veteran of pop culture and entertainment news for the Washington Times, Joseph Zadkowski, and pop culture, technology, and space aficionado, Todd Stowell.
You're just a gambling fool. You got your Safeway Monopoly game card sitting there.
Yeah, what a
You've
joke.
got your NCAA tournament challenge sitting up there.
I got 12 people I'm playing
You're
against in the office.
Completely addicted to this Division II game.
I'm having a lot of fun
Is
with
the
it.
wife having fun with you?
No, she's usually in bed when I'm playing. I've gone to a lot of places that I know of.
I can't even keep up with you.
I'm pretty far ahead of you.
Yeah.
I'm on level 8.
I'm like on 5. I just got to 5 last night. No thanks to you.
Yeah,
Mister, I'm going to just run in and start shooting things.
We got to talk.
Nice strategy.
We got to talk about this because I don't know what is going on, but you cannot talk to other people in your group
with your headset.
with the headset. All the headsets are on. You and I can communicate through the Xbox interface.
Yeah, I
and,
heard.
And like send messages,
Yeah.
and I can hear people talking.
Yeah.
Don't ask me why, but we're not talking unless you got to pay extra to talk or something.
I can't. Well, I got my gold, so
Me
it's
too.
not like.
Me too.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I don't understand it either.
So we're sitting there on an iPhone chatting.
Yeah. Which was so lame. And I can hear these other guys like humming in my headphones.
Well, the guy we were with, I could hear on my speaker.
Yeah, but he didn't even. I don't think he knew his mic was hot.
Right.
So it's very weird. I don't know if maybe like our ISPs are blocking it
Why?
because it's VoIP data.
I don't know.
It's
It's a bummer.
I'm pretty frustrated with it. Yeah, because there have been instances where I would love to be like, hey,
Turn over there, or I'm over here.
or I'm down.
Yeah,
come
help.
get me. Come help me, please.
Right.
Don't take off.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't. I've only had one person say something to me where they're like, "Hey, I'm right behind you. Can you turn around and heal me?"
Right.
And then I was like, "Oh," and I turned around and looked, and I was like, "Oh, okay, let me heal you."
Yep.
I do like the matchmaking feature. The matchmaking feature puts you with other players who have the same skill set as you, who are around the same level as you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do big missions, it's nice because it's not some guy mowing everyone down. It really is a team effort.
That's cool.
And you can get the job done as long as you have 4 players who are willing to actually play the game. What's been weird about it is that it seems really hard to get paired with people because you and I played for a while. We got one other guy to join us, but you could never get a set of 4.
Quickly, right.
Yeah, and I don't know if, again, it's because maybe people are just really far like advanced in the game. I don't know what the play metrics are like. I haven't looked, but that's a little odd. I've had a couple connection issues up front where it's taken a really long time to authenticate to their servers.
Yeah, that really. You have to be ready to sit there for a while. You know
It's
what I mean?
a good 5 minutes before you start the game.
Where you're in the game,
Mhm.
right?
About that.
And then you get in the game. The first thing you're not going to do is just go out and start attacking stuff.
No.
You're looking at your stuff to make sure your armor's right
Yep.
and your gloves are right.
And there's always an upgrade.
You're meandering about, and then you want to go out and find some goodies first. You don't even want to attack anybody. And the hyenas are all over the place.
All over the place.
So you might just be walking down an alleyway and you're ambushed, which is kind of cool, but
It's definitely nicer as you start to upgrade the White House and as you start to upgrade the first sort of rooftop community. More people end up coming out to help you in the streets.
right, which is good.
Which is great because when you first start the game, there's nobody.
harsh.
There is no one. And eventually, more people have more firepower, and they can come out, and you can play by yourself for a while, and they'll
Yeah.
help you mow down these guys.
Right. Absolutely.
I'm still pretty frustrated at how long it takes to shoot one of those
The dudes coming at you with the helmets.
with the helmets. But I
You shoot him in the head, the helmet cracks off, and then you got to start shooting him again.
No, you know what it is?
What?
If you whack them with the butt of your rifle,
Yeah.
they'll go down and then pop.
And how do you whack them?
I want to say it's the B button.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Just stand in
I
an
haven't
alleyway.
tried that one yet.
Stand in an alleyway where
And
there's
hit
no
B.
one and just hit all the buttons to figure out what you're doing. I'm pretty sure it's B, and you'll kind of throw your elbow out.
Yeah. That's cool.
And then they drop because you
Right.
just elbowed them in the head, and then you can shoot them twice, and they're pretty much dead. But
good tip.
there was a group. I'm now playing the True
Sons?
The True Sons. Yeah. Once you go past the
Yeah.
theater district, it's the True Sons. The American History Museum was okay. It wasn't actually too bad. The people I was playing with, they were maybe a little bit more novice than I was, and we managed to make it through. Can't make it to air and space. The whole exterior of the building is completely fortified, and these guys 3 shots and you're done.
Right.
So, and I've been crafting my own armor and trying to like beef it up.
Nope.
Still doesn't
Not
matter.
yet.
Nope. It's a lot of side missions. It's a lot of scavenging for things. It's
Water, food, and
it's
then you bring it to the communities,
You
right?
bring it to the communities. It's constantly going back to the White House and doing all the big thing is doing a lot of side missions that, especially if you can get guys that'll stick with you for a couple hours. That's what happened to me one night, which is how I burned through
couple of hours.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, I had 3 other people with me. We played continuously for about 2.5 hours, and we burned through 3 main missions and probably 5 side missions.
Right.
I mean, it was just and if you died, they were right there. I mean, it was the right kind of team you wanted playing with you.
Right.
But that's not a guarantee.
No. I would say it's a rarity.
Yeah, it was great. And obviously no one said anything because no one could hear
anything. Which is a bummer.
I don't know what's going on with that. And I looked last night and couldn't find anything other than that there's some stuff in the dark zones.
Right.
But
that's not.
That seems to be when you're going up against the bad guys.
Right.
So I don't know. It's weird. Or it's a bug. It might be a bug.
Well, I'm glad it's not my microphone. I thought for sure it was the headset, but it can't be.
I have a nice headset, and you and I were able to send video or audio recordings to each other. No problem. But in the game, I kept saying like, "Hey, can you hear me?" Nothing. So,
okay.
I'm having fun with it. It's a good time waster for sure, and it's also really fun to roam because I know a lot of the city, and it's just fun to roam down streets and be like, "Oh, yeah, well, that's fairly accurate."
Have you hit any of your food trucks yet?
They're not around.
I'm guessing there's not going to be a lot of food trucks.
They're not around. I will say the American History Museum is completely inaccurate inside.
Okay.
100%. Like, just not...
What do you have to do in the History Museum? What's the mission?
So, on the roof, they are using EMP to jam...
Got it.
Broadcast signals
Yep.
and jam the network that you can use to communicate with other groups. The goal is to go through it, get on the roof, take out the bad guy, blow up the EMP, and then once the EMP is blown, then a lot of very strong bad guys come at you, and you have to slowly, methodically pick through them until they're gone. Yeah.
Okay.
But the EMP, then when you go back to the White House, all of a sudden they now have like CCTV. They can watch the entire city.
Okay.
Like they're starting to like get their communications back online, and you can start to hear there's discussions being had about they need to go get the president who was the former vice president, and he's in a bunker, and they're all arguing about whether or not now is the right time to go get him.
Got it.
So I think you get the president right before you go to deal with the big ugly guys at the Capitol. I think you get him before that. He's in a bunker somewhere.
Well, you mean the Black Tusk guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're anywhere near going to get near those guys.
No.
That's probably another 20, 30 hours of gameplay.
Easily. When they said it could take you 40 hours to clear this game, not a chance.
Right.
There's not a chance because there's no in-app purchases. So unless you bulk up, it's all about going down alleyways, going into buildings,
finding stuff.
I went into the portrait gallery, which there's no mission, but there is gear littered everywhere in there. You just go you go into the big dome area that's open. There's stuff all along the edges, really good weapons. If you walk down to the metro, down the escalators, even if the metro's closed, there's always like a briefcase down there. I did go into the metro. I finally went into one of them. And they had both versions of the Metro cars, and they looked pretty accurate.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Wow.
And there's weapons inside those, so it's all good. I mean, it's pretty accurate. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be 100%.
Right.
American, as I said, American history was nothing like the museum, but
but they've built a city.
Yeah, I mean,
so that's cool.
It's freaking nuts.
Yeah,
how realistic this stuff is.
I have to get to the Georgetown Exorcist stairs, and then I'll feel like I've got something accomplished.
Yeah, and
that's
like level 17.
Yeah, so
you're way
off that.
Yeah, and the only thing that I think frustrates me, and it's not a gameplay issue, it's just frustration, is when you die, you have to respawn so far away from where you potentially were.
Right.
That by the time you get back, any of the people you're with
are gone.
They're dead too because they're down a player.
Yeah,
if they can't heal you, like I would rather just respawn where I was, and like maybe have
take my chances.
Maybe have to start over again or something. But I don't know.
Yeah, but most shooters do that. They put you out somewhere else, and you got to run back toward it.
But man, it's like I don't need to go like a half a kilometer back to where I was.
Right.
I ran there and avoided getting shot by all the people in the street.
Right, because the moment you get back and start running toward the event again, there's a 100% chance there's hyenas hanging out somewhere.
And they're going to shoot at you.
Yeah.
But you can outrun them.
Yeah.
Which is what I did a lot of.
Except then they follow you and potentially flank you if you watch what you're doing.
You have to be at a running pace the entire time.
Yeah. So.
And then after a while, your thumb really hurts holding down that button to run.
It's cool.
I'm having fun with it.
They're doing a great job.
Yeah,
so
I'm having fun with it.
Maybe I'll get to play with you again, but you're such a master at it now.
I'm going to go back and try to figure out what's going on with this audio thing.
Great.
I am desperate to figure it out.
Send them an email. I sent you the person's contact.
Yeah, I should reach out.
Yeah, because I'd like to know.
Yeah, because it would be good.
All right.
I have a lot more fun with it. Well, we just spent an entire session
talking about nothing.
Multiplayer. So we should come back and talk about something worthwhile.
Okay.
What do you got?
Well, I was going to talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, but you haven't watched it yet.
Not all the way through, but
okay.
I can talk about
all right,
some
fair
of it.
enough.
And
all right,
then anything else?
No.
Okay.
Did I talk about Mary Poppins already? Yeah.
No.
No. Did I?
I don't think so.
I don't know if I want to.
Have you heard of this show on Netflix called Love, Death, and Robots? It's all animated.
No.
You got to watch it.
Really?
It's an anthology. Each episode is completely standalone. They're between 7 minutes and a maximum of 13 minutes. There's only one episode where there's live action people. Half of the animation looks like it's live action.
Cool.
But it's not. Some of it is definitely a little bit more Japanese anime.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing how good it is. Mind-blowing.
I've been caught up in Amazon Prime's old rockers documentaries.
Oh, nice. Which one did you just finish Motley Crue or something?
No. L7, which is a female hard rock band.
Wow, that's a call. That's like late 70s, early 80s.
No, that's like
or is it late 80s?
Late 90s,
okay.
80s, 90s. But man, what a terrible existence. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? They were on that verge of brilliance and never made it. And the woman was just saying, we would end up making like $500 a month on the road. You can't live on that.
No.
And one of the women was like, at one point, she just quit because she said, you know what? I got to have health insurance. I'm getting older, And then the other one was really depressing. The guy from Husker Du, the drummer, Grant Hart. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. The guy just, it was terrible.
Well, look at the guys that didn't invest their money well and just blew it. I mean...
Oh, and then, so for some reason, while my sub pump was working, so I was staying up, I'm watching a biography on Rose Marie.
Why?
Because it's interesting.
Okay.
Baby Rose Marie, do you know that she was a super, super duper child star? And her father took every dime from her when she was a little girl?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Didn't that happen to?
Happened to a lot of kids.
Yeah, it was Macaulay Culkin. Didn't he sue his parents at
I
one
think
point?
so.
Yeah, I think they took like a ton of his money, or his dad did anyway.
Right. But that's what I like to watch.
Yeah, well, I mean, that stuff's interesting.
You know?
But Love, Death, and Robots,
Okay.
it will change your life. I'm telling you, it's that good. It's
Well, if my sub pump's on tonight, I'll be...
just,
Because there's such ferocious winds outside right now.
I know. Well, I mean,
Thank you, NBC4, for all the erroneous updates.
you can burn through 2 episodes on your phone,
Okay.
right? Just to get a flavor for it. There are 2 that I will tell you that are great. The first one is there's an episode where it's a bunch of farmers, and this portal opens, and all these demons come out, and they get into these like mecha suits, like Ripley does in Aliens.
Yeah.
And they're there to try to like lay waste to it.
Yeah.
And the farm has got like they push a button and guns come out of the silo, and they're all trying to waste these things. It's an awesome episode.
It's Netflix?
It's Netflix.
Not like I'm not paying attention.
No. And then the other one is a live action one with Topher Grace and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, or I think Winstead.
I'm changing topics again. Did you see the Strangers thing?
I love it. I'm so stoked. That Stranger Things trailer, man.
Ooh.
You loved it, right?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. It's going to be great. It's live action, and they open the refrigerator, and there's a world inside the refrigerator, and it's just crazy.
Okay.
It's so cool. And
I'll watch.
I mean, there's a fair amount of nudity, robot nudity, some human nudity, fair amount of sex. But the animation is just, it makes Pixar look like it's the guy who...
But is it as good as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? Different.
I will say that at 7 to 12 minutes, you're like, okay, I could watch more of that.
Right.
Each episode, you're like, it wraps itself up in a nice bow.
Right.
But you could easily, at the end of it, you feel very satisfied. But you could also be like, I want to watch more of that.
Right.
Yeah, there's ones with vampires.
Ooh. All right.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll watch it.
It's really good. You will really enjoy it.
I'm sure there'll be another rainstorm soon.
Well, or windstorm, where your power goes out and your sump pump doesn't work.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's do Spider-Man in just a minute.
Communities Digital News, built by the writers and editors that deliver the news 24 hours a day. Visit comdiginews.com. That's COMMDIGI news.com. And support the next evolution in news.
So is there anything about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse that you didn't like?
Not one thing that I didn't like.
Do you think it could have been longer? Or do you think it was just the right amount?
I was very happy with the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so hyped to me. Just like where unlike Overlord, where everyone told me how amazing it was, this actually delivered. This delivered at every freaking level. Okay? So you have to watch this to understand the amount of animation they're pumping on that screen.
So you warned me ahead of time about an issue where your eyes have a tendency that everything seems a bit blurry to start with, and you have to kind of get used to it with what's going on. And you're right. It's
weird.
And I was trying to look around for like why they did that. And somebody, and again, this was just like some random person said, do you think it's the vision of like that like Spider-Man just has is like a little blurry?
Yeah.
Because he's still got the spider venom flowing through him. So it's like not always everything.
But at the beginning of the movie, he doesn't have it, and it's still doing it.
I know.
Quickly.
I don't know.
They were calling it chromatic separation or chromatic aberration, but it was a choice. It was absolutely a choice, and it will freak you out if you're watching it on your television.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wait, stop stop. What's wrong? And if you notice, the characters are sometimes jerky. Mm-hmm. They're not smooth.
But that's meant to be.
Yes.
Right, because they're all from different universes.
But I mean, even the beginning of the movie, they're doing that.
Yeah.
So that is weird. But the directors assure us that was a creative choice and that they were trying to create a piece of printed art every time you froze the frame, which they did.
Yeah.
They really did.
I mean, yeah, I hadn't tried that, but that's a good point.
And the amount of dots, like you're watching a comic book from the 60s, like Roy Lichtenstein,
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah. Well, we have dots on our stuff. We put dots on our stuff.
What are you talking about?
Any artwork that we post that
Yeah.
goes for like YouTube for the episodes,
Yeah.
there's dots all over it. It's subtle, but they're there.
Okay.
So our
Well,
episode artwork has
the entire printing process has done that forever.
Yep.
But they took advantage of it.
and it's a feature that is near and dear to my heart. I think when you look at a comic book or you look at a design, if those dots aren't there, it's not the real deal.
Yeah. Yeah, you got them all over the place here.
Yep. So what do you think?
I don't even. We're not even talking about a story yet. We're just saying it looked cool.
So who's your favorite Spider-Man?
So I was kind of enjoying Peter B. Parker with the chubby Spider-Man, the guy with the middle-aged man kind of Spider-Man. But then the moment Nick Cage walks on screen, you can't.
The black and
You're
white.
totally Spider-Man noir. You're hooked.
Yeah.
Because the guy, it's just perfect. It's a perfect fit for the actor, right?
And what's so interesting is if you look at like the comic book stuff, well, Nick Cage was in Kick-Ass, the first one, as Big Daddy.
Yeah.
And had this sort of crazy, wild side to him. And
He always wanted to be Superman.
Yes.
There's even tests out there
test
of
footage
him,
of him as
Superman.
Yep.
So this guy has been trying to be a superhero forever.
He's got a job for life if they do more Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And the thing is, just think about it. All they have to do is include more verses into it and just keep bringing people in and more people in.
Yep.
The Jake Johnson
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Man. No, that's
Oh, wait.
that's
Peter Porker.
yeah, Spider-Ham is John Mulaney.
Right.
Jake Johnson is sort of like the main voice that you hear through most of it. He's like the middle-aged guy.
Right.
Right?
Chris Pine's in it
Chris Pine is in it.
as a version of Spider-Man.
John Mulaney, I think his voice fits perfectly with Spider-Ham.
Yep.
But the problem is John Mulaney always sounds like a 1950s articulated announcer on the radio. So it's not any different than his normal voice.
And well, the good news is I had no idea who this guy was, nor did I care. So he kind of fit.
He wrote like all the funny Bill Hader sketches on SNL. Like
No idea.
Stefan.
No idea.
Really?
Really.
He's become quite the comic.
So I'm fine with knowing as little as possible because his voice was fine for me.
Jake Johnson, he was in that Fox show New Girl for a long time.
I remember that guy.
He's in this quite a bit.
He's
Obviously,
the chubbier Spider-Man.
right. Obviously, Nick Cage is in this, and that's just scene stealing.
Gwen Stacy as Spider-Woman.
Yep.
Which is awesome. There's a female Dr. Octopus. I kind of blew it. I shouldn't have said that. But, man, she looks great. They so captured the essence of that character again.
And so
and then the Scorpion shows up, who is awesome.
So here's the question. This was Sony
That's right.
in conjunction with Marvel, right?
Yep.
Sony is now sort of the odd man out.
Right, because everything else is under Disney's umbrella, right?
Yeah.
All of Marvel.
Deadpool,
Just
X-Men.
the recent
with the 3 days
Fox.
ago, where Fox now owns 20th Century, or no, I'm sorry, Disney owns 20th Century Fox, National Geographic, FX, like Fox Sports, the whole shebang. They got it all.
Yep.
So yeah, Sony's sort of left.
But the thing is, they just had a massive hit again.
I mean,
with this movie and they're going to have a hit with Spider-Man: Homecoming.
and Avengers, because
That's not Sony,
but it's a license of
Right.
Spider-Man,
right?
And except, well, we don't know how much
And Venom.
Peter Parker's in it.
They'll do Venom again,
They are
and
doing
make a
they're
bunch.
doing a
of course
second
they are.
Venom. And let me see, what else does Sony own? Oh wait, this like small franchise called Ghostbusters. They own that because that's going to make them a ton of money.
Someday.
Yeah, when it hits the 50th anniversary and Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray are in walkers. All right, back to the movie. What's the story about?
I don't know. Kingpin has some sort of particle accelerator that's broken the multiverse and has allowed all these Spider-Men to come into the whatever Earth we're in. I have no idea what number Earth we are.
We have no idea.
And this kid, Miles Morales, this kind of awkward kid, ends up, of course, getting bit by a radioactive spider while he's doing some underground graffiti art with his Uncle Aaron. That whole scene, by the way, is just freaking amazing. When they start spray painting on the wall, it's like 3D. Mm-hmm. It's just great. So anyway, he's got to learn to become Spider-Man, and then he's got to work with these other Spider-Men and women to take down the Kingpin, who was created to look like a black hole. And it's perfect because he does.
Right.
It's this giant black suit with a tiny pinhead coming out of it. There's teamwork, there's some loss, there's some heartbreak, there's some family relationship issues,
some
that
laughs.
are fun, some laughs, there's some good humor in it. Stan's in it. Stan sells
Well, let's see. So
Spider-Man costumes.
So what's Stan's last role?
Captain Marvel, I think.
Oh, he's in Avengers, right?
I would hope, maybe. I don't know.
And
Well, yeah,
he
yeah.
had to have been in Homecoming, right? I would think that those are the last two.
Right.
And Avengers, since they filmed that thing like a couple years ago.
But anyway, there's an Easter egg featurette in this, and basically Stan's in almost every crowd scene. If you look, you'll see Stan looking out of a train car. You'll see him walking down the street. He's all over this movie, which is very cool. And the filmmakers, there's 3 directors on this film. They have put together like the ultimate homage to like classic Marvel comic book styles. You name it. They take Jack Kirby's, propensity to create these color globules, and they've reproduced them on screen.
And what exactly else have they worked on recently?
The directors?
Deadpool. Phil Lord.
No. Those are the producers.
Oh, sorry, producers.
But the producers did the Lego movie. Mm-hmm. Got canned from the Han Solo movie.
Yep.
Did another Lego movie. But they have no egg on their face after this movie. I mean, they just killed it. Whatever I think one of them was a co-writer on the script too.
I mean, they're Oscar winners now.
That's right.
Just think about that. You make a bunch of live-action movies and you win an Oscar for Best Animated.
Yeah. But it's such a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Who would have thought?
I wouldn't have.
Really?
I would have never. And the best part about this, it makes DC Entertainment look like they're putting out 60s cartoons.
No, it makes them so irrelevant.
They have to step up their game now.
What do they do?
Those mediocre PG-13 movies they put out are just, they don't even come close to comparing what's going on here.
But the thing is,
and don't tell me about the budget. I understand they had $90 million to work with.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys take and make 3 great movies instead of 6 mediocre ones?
I mean, the only 2 things they have going for them is Wonder Woman, which will be a smash.
Right.
1984 will be a smash. And they had good success with Aquaman. Superman's dead.
A mess.
Batman's dead. Like, they're done.
Right. So
just throw whatever money you can at Christopher Nolan and be like, can you please come back and do 3 more Dark Knights?
Well, I'm sure The Suicide Squad's going to work with James Gunn, who, by the way,
is
was
now
back on Guardians
3.
Because Disney's not that stupid.
Nope.
The extras, by the way, not that you're ever going to get to this, but there is actually an alternate universe mode that adds like roughly 50 extra scenes to the movie, but they're not finished. The voiceover work is there, but it's hard, rough animation, storyboard animation. So you can see, like I was always wondering, why isn't Miles Morales' like roommate, that Genki guy, in there? Now he's all over it.
Oh, interesting.
In the alternate universe cut. So anyway,
so what would you give this film?
A+. A+.
You don't seem enthusiastic at all about it.
No, it was a real downer for me.
Yeah.
And it was my son. No one would go to the movie with him on this, because the moment they heard animated, they wouldn't go with him.
Well,
so he and I sat there together for the first time and watched this movie, and we were just blown away.
I mean, they just showed the first trailer for Toy Story 4. You think that's going to have the impact this did? I don't think so.
Right.
People sort of are not happy that they're doing a fourth Toy Story, but this is something that came out of the blue.
Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere. It was animated, which that's a hard thing to go for.
It's a hard genre to crack, considering.
And this thing
won it.
Lit it up.
So good job, guys. I so appreciate it, and I bet you Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, God bless them, appreciate it.
So is Shazam a DC property?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah.
I really kind of want it to work. It looks funny, but I don't know. I like Zach Levi.
It's not going to be a Deadpool.
No, because it's rated PG.
Well, I understand that, but Deadpool kind of came out of nowhere.
Not really.
I don't think Shazam's going to come out of nowhere.
I had heard about Deadpool for years that he was working on.
But you never thought it was going to happen. That was the problem.
Well, when he leaked the footage, and everyone was like, "Holy cow!"
But he still didn't have a deal at that point.
No, can you just think about the brass set on him to say, "I'm going to release this test footage on the internet and claim it was stolen."
Right.
I mean, he's more or less admitted that that's what he did.
Yeah. Good for him, because you know what? He gambled. It paid off. Just like this movie. It's different.
Yeah.
It's creative. It's innovative.
What was the budget on this one?
$90 million, I think.
And that's good money.
It is.
Think about...
But I don't have the exact stat, but it was something like 1 week per second of film.
Yeah, and if you think about it, we were talking about this before. The fact that you have so many different animated types of animation in this. You have definite anime. You have the noir. You have the cartoony.
The anime with we didn't even mention Penny Parker and her spider suit.
Right.
Her mech suit.
Right.
Which is just freaking great.
And it's sort of like when they did the live action Roger Rabbit, right? Where it was like every kind of animated character across all platforms
popping in,
put together. Like, you had multiple teams working on that from different studios, and I got to believe it's the same thing with this. I doubt their animators were doing everything together.
Right.
They probably had one team working on the the mech suit version, one on the noir version, and they got to get it all tied together. That's insane to me.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm letting my kids watch it tomorrow. They're going to burn through it, and they're pretty excited about it.
They're going to be blown away.
Yeah, it's great. So, box office, Captain Marvel one again was not going to win this week. I think Jordan Peele's Us is going to take the top spot. That thing is going to be a monster.
What's that movie about?
So,
briefly,
it's a horror film, and it's a family of... it's like a family of, I think, four or five, and their murderous doppelgangers come to haunt and terrorize them.
Okay.
So it's a horror movie. Looks epic. I'd like to watch it. I think
I won't sit in a theater and watch it, but I will certainly watch it.
I think it's going to be Get Out was such a cool sort of horror. Semi horror, like political. This is supposed to be straight up horror,
right? Okay,
where they're
no subtlety,
where their like doppelgangers are trying to kill them.
Okay, and I watched Mary Poppins, by the way, Returns. So it's fun for the whole family, Todd.
Okay,
so when you get a chance, it's fun for the whole family.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Was it needed?
It absolutely was not needed.
Okay.
But it's fun to see Dick Van Dyke. It's fun to see Angela Lansbury. She's about 102.
Oh.
And it's fun to see. Meryl Streep.
But why was Julie Andrews not in there somewhere?
I have no idea. First of all, I don't think she can sing anymore.
Doesn't matter.
That might have bummed her
Dick
out.
Van Dyke can't really do anything.
Dude, he was ripping it up.
I know, but how old is he? He's in
92.
his 90s. Yeah. Why can't she show up?
She should have.
I mean, she could have just sat on a bench and said something, and she would have been
If
there.
they walked by. Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened. Bitter? I don't know.
Or they felt like it would show up Emily Blunt.
All I can say is it's fun for the whole family.
You're saying that very sarcastically.
I'm not saying it's
like I don't really want to watch it. Is it?
If you watch it with your whole family, like your little girl, she'll love it.
Okay, but if
Since she hasn't seen the original.
No, Mike. I don't know if she's seen it. My boys have seen the original.
Right.
They got scared
This-
at it. There's a
they
scary,
got scared at it.
you remember,
Come on.
There's a scary part where they run into the alley, and there's those guys there trying to like, where's your parents? You know,
Okay.
like I remember being like a little scared by that when I was really little, and they were little when they watched it.
Anyway, it's good. We're rambling.
Did you know that this episode is number 75?
I thought last week's was 75.
74.
Why don't we just make every episode number 75?
75 from here on out?
Yeah.
No, I was alerting everyone that during last week's episode that this week's episode would
Are
be
you going to
number
change that opening commercial? Because it's confusing old people.
Which one?
The one where you and I are pitching Anchor.
We'll just get rid of ours and use theirs.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Is it going to be two people pitching Anchor?
No, I don't think
Pitching
so.
a tent?
Although I think you have to do it if you want to get money. I don't know. I mean,
Well, look into it, okay?
yeah, I'll look into it.
I don't like confusing people.
All right. Next week we're going to talk about the Mueller report because we're going to go
Yeah,
political
because we're
on it.
very excited about that.
Absolutely, and
Looking forward to more rain and wind.
I'm looking forward
NBC4.
Looking forward to waiting for 20 minutes to connect to play more Division 2.
Oh, good.
So
Maybe
all good
we'll hook
things.
up.
Yeah,
See ya.
Very good.